Kenilworth Racing on Saturday the 6th of March. We've got an 8-race program for you. Let's run through them race by race. We'll then give you our best bet and also our best value bet, brought to you by GG Gaming, and also a place accumulator, a pick six and a jackpot. So let's get straight into it with race number 1, which is the Welcome to Cape Racing Maiden Juvenile Plate. Now this is an interesting race because only one runner that's carded here has had exposed form. The rest of them are all first timers. But there's a bit of word and there's a bit of a whisper on the cards and on the streets for number 7, Persistence. He's a 2-year-old son of Kwarari, Alder de Meyer. Well, that's an interesting jockey booking already for trainer Mike Stewart, and he takes the ride here. I think this is going to be a horse that really does give of his best for his first starts, and I think he's well worth including, and he does warrant the utmost respect. Who's going to be his biggest challenger? Could be number 8, Raisin Thorpe. This one from the Justin Snaith yard. Richard Faree jumps on board, and that's going to be my second choice. Son of Rafif, out of a Western Wintermere, beautifully bred by the Daytona stud, the estate of the late Ronnie Hamilton. But certainly Ravensthorpe looks to have an outstanding chance of finishing amongst them too. So 7 from 8. Third position, I'm going to go with number 4, Masked Vigilante. 2-year-old son of Vercingetorix, trained by the Brett Crawford yard. Greg Sheen jumps on board for the Sherrills. Masked Vigilante, again, beautifully bred. The Vercingetorix out of a Casey Tibbs mare. And I think, again, you can expect a bold showing from this one. 7, 8 and 4, the selections for race number 1. Race number 2 is Please Stay Safe and Wear a Mask, a maiden juvenile plate, this time for fillies. They're going 1,200 metres. For me, for first, I'm going to go with number 5, Global Goddess. She has got form. She's had 2 runs, and they've both been very smart, and they've both been behind very useful types as well. Hi Hosanna, one of the 2-year-olds that featured on the feature race program out on Derby Day, finished a creditable place there as well, and then a good run behind Gimme Dat, who came out and franked that form. Lots to like about the 2-year-old daughter of Global View. She was bred by the Claverflay stud. Alder de Meyer jumps on board for Candice Robinson, and she does look to be a firm first choice here. For second, I'm going to go with number 6, Karen Blixen. Now this is another one from the Candice Robinson yard. Gets the services of Anthony Andrews. This is a 2-year-old daughter of Coup de Gras. She's out of the Antonius Pius mare, and this one was bred by Ridgemont Highlands. Had the one run, was a decent 4th on debut, finishing not more than 2.65 lengths behind European A. And I do think, once again, there'll be plenty of natural improvement to come. So that will be my second choice. For third, I'm going to go with number 2, Bye Bye Bombshell. 2-year-old daughter of Duke of Marmalade. First start for the Snaiths, and also Richard Faree in the saddle, racing in the colours of owner Greg Bortz. 5, 6 and 2, the selections for race number 2. We move on to the third race. No Mask, No Entry, a maiden plate over 1,200 metres. This will be the opening leg of this afternoon's pick 6. Short in the market and quite a relatively tight favourite is number 1, Benjamin. Another one from the Candice Robinson yard. She looks to be a young to follow on the 6th of March out at Kenilworth. So she's going to be the first choice here. Number 1, Benjamin. Alder de Meyer jumps on board. Having a look some 5 runs back, this was finished no less than a neck behind Russian Rock, who came out and was very successful in the Cape Guineas. Fluffed his lines a bit in the Derby, he did, but he was very headstrong on that occasion, and I do think that that run be ignored. But this horse has done some nice places, and obviously his last run was a cracking second as well. Benjamin, for me, first choice. The first time, it could be his biggest danger, though. That's number 12, Future Flyer. This is a 3-year-old son of Futura. Out of a trippy mare, was bred by Mrs. Platner's La Plaisance farm, and Mrs. Platner, obviously the winning and the owner in connection. Keegan de Miller jumps on board. First timer here, but obviously beautifully bred. The Futuras have got off to a flying start, and I think that could be good enough for that second berth. For third, I'm going to go with number 5, West Coast Wonder. Pet Stains runner. He's got the services of Grant Burr, and again, some nice solid form. And that third behind Captain Dizzy. Captain Dizzy, a bit of a runaway winner last time out. So that run being beaten, just the 5 lengths, is full of merit, and I do think we'll come on from that as well. So maybe some value to be had with the 5, West Coast Wonder. Selections in, race number 3, 1, 12 and 5. Right, let's move on to race number 4, maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,200 metres once again. And here, my first choice, just to bring you a scratching there as well, number 11, Path to Go is out. First choice, though, is going to go to the 5, La Banquier. Now, I really like this horse, and it's possibly going to be my best value bet on the card. Lots to like about the daughter of Trippy. She's out of a Fortwood mare, and her last couple of runs have been behind some solid company. She was a very creditable second behind Gertrude Bell, and followed that up with a very decent third behind Halle Berry as well. Elder Demeyer jumps on board once again for Candice Robinson, and as I said earlier on, that could be the yard worth following on the 6th of March here. So Lambanquer is going to be my first choice and best value bet for the afternoon. For second, I'm going to go with number 2, Joe Loves, 3-year-old daughter of Duke of Marmalade, also from the Candice Robinson yard. Anthony Andrews picks up that ride, and again, a good third last time out behind Flashlight. And then also looking at that Flashlight form line, you can go to number 1, which was Arundel, who finished marginally ahead on that Flashlight form. Greg Sheen jumps on board for Eric Sands. Numbers for race 4, 5, confident each way bet there from number 2 and number 1. On we go to race number 5, the www.caperacing.co.za. This is a merit rated 74, a handicap over 1,400 metres. And here I'm going to go with number 1, the top weight, to come home victorious in our 5th. Another son of Trippy, this time out of a dynasty mare, Justin Snaith, the trainer on this occasion, and he's got the services of his regular stable jock, Richard Free. Some cracking form, hasn't really put a foot wrong of late. His last start was a really good third behind Zeb, but prior to that was a nice winner beating Paper Trail. I think this horse has obviously still got improvement to come, and I think you might just see that coming through with another successful attempt here at the 8th time of asking. So it'll have its 8th start. It's already won one and been amongst the places for the remaining starts as well. Richard Free will have a great ride here to get back into the winner's enclosure. For second, I'm going to go with number 13, so all the way down at the bottom, and that's Smart William. Now, this horse is really well in at the weights. Have a look at him. He's a 15 starts for the 1 win. Sishle Cheli jumps on board, and he's going to be shouldering the 53 kilos, and he hasn't been running too far off them. This horse could be some great value in this type of contest, and I do think he's worth including. So Smart William for me, number 12. Definitely, in fact, it's number 13. Smart William, number 13, definitely comes into the race with a decent shot. He's well in, and I think that light mass with Sishle Cheli on board could prove to be a very, very creditable move for trainer Brett Crawford. For third placing in race number 5, I'm going to go with number 2, Doppia Oro, again coming from the inform Candice Robinson yard, and Elder Demeyer jumps on board here once again. A wideish draw to contend with, otherwise I probably would have put this one higher up in the selections. Not going to be easy for Eldo from draw 12, but certainly does have the credentials and also doesn't really know how to run a bad race. And in chatting about the other runners, they're both one-time winners, and this fella has already notched up 2 career victories. 1, 13 and 2 for race number 5. Let's move on to the 6th race. This is the tabonline.co.za, a merit rated 90, a handicap over 1,400 metres. And here we're going to go with the first choice of number 3. Irish Morning. Wasn't he impressive his last start? He absolutely trotted up. He won by 2 1/4 lengths, beating Double Charge. Keegan DeMello jumps on board, replacing Anton Marcus, who was victorious on him last time out. Dean Kennemer's yard has been pretty strong in terms of sending out some decent winners, and he has a very nice winner of the nursery as well. Irish Morning, a 4-year-old son to give me the green light out of the Jalad mare, and this one racing in the colours of April Glasby, and he looks to be well above average, and he could be well worth supporting going forward. I think he's got another very good winning chance here. For second, who's going to be chasing this one home? It's probably going to go to the 8, Adios Amigas. And again, the Candice Robinson yard comes to the 4. Greg Sheen jumps on board from a favourable draw as well. And this horse has also won 2 of his last 3 starts. Looks to be going the right way. And again, you can make a case for this one being the biggest danger to number 3, Irish Morning. Having a look at the weights, Irish Morning, the 4-year-old, carrying 58. And the 3-year-old with Greg Sheen in the saddle, just 54.5 kilos. Who can chase those 2 home? Well, I'm going to go with number 1, Spectra Force. He's the type of horse that you can never really leave out at the play. He does pop up, and his last run behind Captain Flinders was full of merit as well, and jockey Mornay Vinar gets the ride. He rode this fella last time out. He did absolutely nothing wrong, did just about everything but win, and he'll have another really good chance of earning a sizable stake check come Saturday. 3, 8 and 1, the numbers for race number 6. Right, let's move on to race number 7. Racing Association Maiden played 4 fillies and mares over 1,600 metres, and here comes one of the better bets on the card. In fact, the best bet on the card for me in number 1, Tallahassee. Glenn Cotson's the trainer. Elder DeMeyer jumps on board. G hasn't Eldo got some good rides for the meeting, and this is a soft falling rain filly out of a Silvana mare who ran an absolute cracker behind A Moment Apart last time out. I think this horse has got plenty more scope, and I do think will be very, very difficult to oppose. So for me, number 1, Tallahassee, the horse to beat. For second, I'm going with number 2, What's in a Dream, another one from the Candace Robinson yard. Greg Sheen this time takes up the ride, drawn in pole position as well, which will always be of assistance. Has been running there or thereabouts, wasn't a bad second behind French Declaration, and followed it up with a decent run behind Halloween. And again, you've got to think that there could be a bit more improvement to come. Lightly raced, only the 4 starts this far. For third, I'm going to go with number 3, Our World, the 3-year-old daughter of Coup de Gras, out of a Count de Bois mare. And this one, Louis Makotwa, jumps on board for Vaughan Marshall. Again, been really solid. Doesn't get beaten by any major margin at any time to the race course. And I think could certainly warrant place credentials once again. 1, 2 and 3, straightforward. The selections for race number 7. Race number 8 is the next race meeting, the 13th of March. This is a maiden plate over 1,600 metres. And the shortest price favour on the day is probably going to be number 1, Green Light Flash. 3-year-old son of Give Me the Green Light. Look at the form that this horse is bringing to this race. The 9 starts. It's raced against some of the best 3-year-olds in the country. He's run behind Jet Dark, Hoodsprat, Master of Power, Star of the South, Contact Zone. Any of these horses would probably come through a maiden here and be 1 to 10. So really good value around Green Light Flash coming through and being successful here in the 8th. And I do think he's probably going to take a power of beating here. Number 3 could be the next best, and that is going to be One Way Traffic. Justin Snaith, Richard Free, they team up with the Dynasty, who's only had a couple of runs as well. This will be race number 5 and has been seen to improve each and every start. So there could well be more improvement, and you have to respect number 3, One Way Traffic. Third selection is going to go to number 8, and that's going to be Old Tawny. Now, Old Tawny is a 3-year-old son of Where's That Tiger from the Canamere yard. Keegan DeMello once again jumps on board. 3 starts, there's got to be more improvement to come, and a favourable draw as well for Old Tawny from the Canamere team, and another one that could certainly make the frame. So selections in for the 8th and final. I'm going 1, 3 and 8. Right now, time to run through the exotics. We'll start with the place accumulator, and let's go race number 2. We're going to put 5 and 6 in there. Global Goddess goes in, so too Car and Blixen. Followed by the third race, number 1, Benjamin, we're putting in. We're also coupling that up with number 12, Future Flyer. Those 2 should suffice to get us through. Taking a chance and banking number 5 in the third race, La Banquère. That was my best value bet for the card as well, so I do think you're going to get a good run for your money. Then we go 1 and 2 in race 5, Somerset Morn as well as Doppio Oro. 3 and 8 in race number 6, that's Irish Morning and Adios Amigos. Then we'll bank Tallahassee in race number 7, followed by 1, 3 and 8, the final leg. And that's going to be Green Light Flash as well as One Way Traffic, and then we're putting in Old Tawny as well. Smaller players, you might want to take a chance and bank it in the last race. You could probably bank number 1, Green Light Flash. Pick 6 time, we're going to take a chance for the pick 6 on this Saturday afternoon. I'm going to take a chance banking in the first race, number 1, Benjamin. He's got the best exposed form of the racehorses and could only be a first timer that possibly beats him. So for example, if Future Flyer does come through and beat him, the first timer rule will apply and Benjamin runs second, you'll still get through. So taking a chance, banking number 1, Benjamin. We're then going 1, 2 and 5. Arundel, Joe Loves and number 5, La Banquère for the second leg of the pick 6. Followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8 for race number 5. Race number 6, we're going 2, 8 and 9. Followed by Banker 1, Tallahassee. Race number 7, Banker number 1. And then the final leg of the pick 6 going rather wide. We're going to cover ourselves there with 1, 3, 4, 5, 8 and 16. Let's take a look at the jackpot numbers and just run through them quickly. And 1, 2 and 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8 by 2, 8 and 9. Followed by Banker 1, Tallahassee. A lot of play around Tallahassee for the day, and he's certainly going to be my best bet as well. GG Gaming offering a double stretch on the best bet and best value bet. So a double stretch for you on Tallahassee, should you back that with GG Gaming, and you'll also get the double stretch on the best value bet, which comes in race number 4, the 5-horse La Banquère. So great value to be had from GG Gaming. Enjoy racing at Kenilworth, and we'll be back with you the next start.